Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 378. R&D is a business expense. Once again, this is the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Episode 378. R&D is a business expense. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always feel free to type into the chat where you're listening live from, or if you're listening to replay, just feel free to type into the chat so other people can see where you're listening live or listening to replay from, so people can know, where people are listening from all over the country. We got people in other countries, New Zealand, UK, people in Hawaii. Always appreciate everybody tunes in live, listening to replay. Please feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button so you all can get what is it, the pop-up episodes that we actually do. We usually do a Tuesday episode, but at the same time we do pop-up episodes. So this is just one of those episodes we traditionally do. But if you want to get on the notifications, just feel free to hit that button twice, the bell button twice, so you can actually get the notifications. Click the like button. Just obviously goes towards the algorithm getting stronger, so people can hear the quality message that we put out at the vault. So this is the vault, episode 378. R&D is a business expense. We got to first start out with the legal disclaimer. This isn't considered to be legal advice. It's not financial advice. We're not telling you to run off and do anything, fraudulent or not right. So, feel free to consult with obviously a tax expert. Those are the people that you're going to be consulting with, and you got to ask them this question. A lot of times a lot of entrepreneurs don't ask about this question. So this is obviously a topic that is obviously warranted, uh, coming from the vault. And what is it that we talk about? We talk about a lot of trust. We talk about LLCs. We talk about C corps. We talk about the cup of the day, the cup of tea a day, or cup of coffee a day, S corps. We talk about those different things. But a lot of times, a lot of entrepreneur investors, they get caught up in the daily grind every single day, that they don't really they're not able to step back and reinvest capital back into the company in the area of research and development, partially because they're living off of the company. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that today, specifically if you're living off of the company. Oh, it's paying for my cell phone, it's paying for my house, it's paying for my car, it's paying for me to get clothes and all these different things. But what happened to the research and development? What happened to the company paying for the research and development, and is it really a full write-off? These are the things that we have to talk to our tax people about when it comes to these things, because this is where a lot of the times you see a lot of entrepreneurs drop the ball. They end up failing. They don't understand that this counts against the income of the actual company, which is a benefit to them. They ended so we're just going to talk about it today. So R&D is a business expense, and this comes from, obviously we have a workshop coming up on March 18th through the 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. Doing business without an SSN, only an EIN properly. We definitely got one of our mentors, sitting in the room and going over information, talking about this very thing, research and development as a business expense. He uses that one for sure. And this is something that we have to make very, very clear to individuals that engage with the trustee training or not. When people want to reach out and do trustee training, they say, "Oh, I got a business. I got a business." Well, what happened to you developing yourself as an entrepreneur and investor in the area of research and development, developing yourself as an entrepreneur or investor, doing the research, finding the vault, doing the development, enrolling in trustee training? That's what we're going to talk about. So we definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Uh, Everybody, we're just going to take one quick second here. Greetings. So we got back. So once again, this is episode catered towards research and development as a business expense, because a lot of people are not familiar with the research and development side. Whether that's a lot of people contact the vault and say, "Oh, I want to be an investor," or, "Well, that's research. You got to research. You got to buy the educational programs." What about the development? Well, it might take time for you to develop the skill. There's expenses incurred in that process. You think you're gonna get it overnight? You think your business is gonna grow overnight? You think your investing mindset is gonna grow overnight? Clearly, it doesn't for most people. So, by that being the case, we have to engage in research and development, and that's a business expense. But we're talking about this from the perspective of coming from it from perspective of dealing with, obviously a professional, whether that's an accountant or a CPA, enrolled agents or otherwise. This is one of the drop balls of most entrepreneurs, investors, is that they come out of pocket personally. They come out of pocket through the company, but they're not making it labeled the correct way. They're not labeling it as research and development. They so used to doing everything personally. They so used to doing everything in their name because that's not a write-off in your name. But when you're doing it through a company, when you're doing it through an whether it's trust, whether it's a business or even investing, is it not an expense? These are the questions that we have for our accountants. They answered it very clearly. How long do you think it's going to take for you to become a Fortune 500 company? First of all, 80% of the United States is small business owners. So you got to engage in research and development. When you go look at the Fortune 500 companies, aren't they engaging in research and development? Yes. When y'all go look at one of the largest companies in the world, Tesla is supposed to be a $1 trillion company. They ain't even sold worth of $10 billion worth of cars yet. $10 billion worth of cars. The company's been around for over 5 years. It's supposed to be valued at $1 trillion. They still haven't sold over $10 billion in cars. They ain't even sold over $5 billion in cars. Which I think this is funny. They ain't sold over $5 billion in cars. Where do you think the money's going? Where's the trillions? Where's the billions going? You want to know where it's going? Research and development. Oh man, that's where it's going. Research and development. That's hard to hear for you though. Oh man, I see it. I see he's the richest guy in the world. He's the richest guy. Where's the profits at? You think that they ain't selling more? Tesla's not selling more cars than Ford. Tesla's not selling more cars than GMC. Go look up the numbers. Go look at revenue. They're not selling more cars, but they got more capital to do what? Research and development into their electric vehicles, into them doing the all driverless vehicles, which is fair, but it's a write-off. It's a business expense. So why would you not be able to take advantage of that as a small business owner when Tesla's doing it and they got way more money than you do sitting on the books? They got way more investors than you do. It's the same law. We all using the same laws as entrepreneurs. The playing field is level. You think they use it? Go look. Is the company an LLC or a C Corp? You already know what you need to be. If they are LLC or a C Corp, you get classified. You get the same daggone opportunities for expenses. It's no difference because he's a $1 trillion company, market cap. It's no difference. So we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the research and development. Because his company ain't even sold more than $5 billion worth of cars yet. But they got supposedly a $1 trillion market cap. Looks like we're going to have to do some research and development ourselves as entrepreneurs. When you have to go back to school, when you have to invest in your accounting education, when you have to invest in your investing education, you got to do your research by getting consultations. Because you need to find out how to build out your team properly. You got to find out what more education do you even need? Do you need to go back to school? What people do you need on your team? You got to invest in mentorship. That's research and development. That's the vault. Trustee training. Trustee training encompasses the entrepreneur mindset. Trustee training encompasses the business owner mindset. Why? Because as a trustee, you're dealing with those people. As a trustee, you may be doing those things. As an entrepreneur, you may be dealing with that. You're dealing with the fact that you are looking to grow top line revenue. How you going to grow top line revenue by yourself? It's not just education, it's research and development. It's not just, oh, we got to go get the education. What happens throughout the period of time when you are developing the education, when you are developing the information? Y'all don't see how he's writing off billions of dollars every year with the company that ain't even sold more cars than GMC or Ford? Y'all see how he's writing it off as R&D? And if you got the LLC or you got the C corp, why wouldn't you go do the same thing? Why wouldn't you go talk to your professionals, the tax professionals, the accounting professionals, and make sure whatever you're doing, educational or research and development wise, is a business expense? Because people don't know. Because they're so focused on just living out the company. Oh man, I just got to get in this business. Uh, where is the research and development expense? How much is that able to be written off in the company? Do you know? Most people don't. Go ask your professionals that. How much is a write off? How long can I write this off? Can I push this out like they do in real estate? See, people try to go into real estate because they want these, oh, I could kick out the taxes for years, because people talk about that in the real estate. Oh man, I could write off taxes for years, depreciation. Research and depreciation. Your business is research and development. If you don't develop the information, it's a depreciating asset. The information, the research is supposed to be a asset, correct? Right. But it's also depreciating how you build the company right now, slowing down the company. Why do you think Tesla's living the way it's living? They getting all this money to do all the research, but you think they not? What happened to the Cybertruck? Y'all forgot about the Cybertruck? Y'all didn't see delays in production? Development. The production and development, same thing. They had the research money. They came out with a prototype. He said the glass was indestructible. He goes on national television, national airways, and breaks the daggone indestructible glass. He breaks the indestructible glass. Guess what? That's development costs. That's a business expense. The embarrassment alone is a business expense. Research and development is a business expense. Appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listen to replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you listen to live, listen to replay from. What are we talking about here? He said the glass was indestructible. He said the glass, you can't break it. Research and development is a business expense. That's why they couldn't even come out with the vehicle right away, because it's research and development. The development has a cost too, just like the research has a cost. But somehow they get bundled together. Research and development is a business expense. They ain't came out with the truck yet. What do you think about all these other companies that are doing research and development? It's a business expense. How you going to enroll in trustee training? Everybody says, oh, how do I get in trustee training? I'm doing all this other stuff. I got all these other expenses. You got to drive top line revenue. And then do what? Research and development. Company worth $1 trillion over there at Tesla, but for some odd reason, they ain't sold more than $5 billion worth of cars. Most of the money's going to what? Research and development. But we talking about, oh man, Trust Christian Vault, I'm growing the company, but I'm dealing with taxes on the company because I got it going in my personal name because I don't know how to deal with research and development towards developing my expenses as an entrepreneur, as an investor. Where you gonna come up with the money for trustee training? Research and development. How you gonna continue your education, continuing education classes? Research and development. Just because you do the research, investment wise, doesn't mean the development mean the product gonna come out right away. It doesn't mean the company's gonna grow right away. Clearly, Tesla's a clear example of that. They ain't even sold $1 billion worth of cars yet. They ain't sold worth $5 billion worth of cars yet. But they say they're worth $1 trillion on paper. Right. What's the difference between your LLC and theirs? What's the difference between your C corp and theirs? Or is it the state you set up in, or is it the laws that govern them based on the Fed level of research and development with the EIN from the Fed level? Research and development is a business expense. R&D is a business expense. This is the things that we talk to our trustees about in the trustee training, because these are the questions that they ask. Well, how do I deal with continuing my education as a trustee after trustee training? Do you have that even set aside as an expense every year? Projections? Hey, we got this much that we gonna allocate towards what? Research and development. Tesla does. Supposedly they worth $1 trillion on paper. Ain't even sold $5 to $10 billion worth of cars yet. But they got certain amount of money. They say out of this trillion, we allocating towards what? Research and development. You think that doesn't count against profits? The little bit of money that they are making every year, selling a few cars here and there. They're not even selling more cars than Ford annually. They're not selling more cars than GMC annually. Go look at the numbers. Because they're doing what? They're doing research and development. So that's what we got to talk about. We got to talk about the fact that R&D is a business expense. It doesn't matter that you got some major corporation. It's an LLC or C corp. If 80% of the companies in the United States are small businesses, same as they still in the LLC or a C corp. See, you got fooled when you went into your S corp though, didn't you? Yeah. If you want to get a consultation and get out of that situation or move into a research and development situation for yourself and the company, the consultation is christian@trustchristian.com. That's the email, christian@trustchristian.com. You can look in the description and get it. You got to develop yourself as an entrepreneur, as an investor. That's research and development, the consultations. That's how simple it is. Go talk to your professionals, the accountants, the CPAs, see what they say about it. When you get consultations from professionals, it's research and development. When you get consulting from professionals in their field, it's research and development. This is what we want to talk to the people about today. Because for some odd reason, people just want to keep slaving away. Oh man, I don't know when I'm going to get into trustee training. Oh man, I don't know when I'm going to be able to invest in X, Y, and Z program. I don't know when I'm going to be able to, capitalize on the information I got because I still got to develop it. You're right. You got to develop the product. You got to develop the service. It's called research and development. R&D is a business expense. But how many people are drowning? Oh man, we drowning, man. We ain't able to get more money coming in because we got to just keep doing the same old, same old. Yeah, we got some more classes. I'm taking some night classes. I'm developing myself. Well, how long does it take to develop that service or that product? Isn't that a part of the amortized R&D is a business expense? Did you talk to the accountant? Did you talk to the CPA about that? That's what we're talking about right now. These are the conversations we talk about at the Chamber of Commerce because this is the conversation that all successful entrepreneurs know, whether they're Fortune 500 or not. The ones that made it to the 5% that last past the 5-year mark, they know R&D is a business expense. Bottom line. They had to figure that out. Why? Because they knew at one point the education was going to get capped out. They knew they had to go do some research and find out how the big boys play. And they found out that R&D is a major expense in most companies. Because it's not just getting the information, it's developing the information, be it a service or a product. How long does it take to develop the service? How long does it take to develop the product? It's amortized out. Did you talk to the accountant about that? Did you talk to the CPA about that? No. Because you got to know that the CPA works for you. You got to know that the accountant works for you. So you might have to go out and interview new accountants. You might have to go out and find and develop new accounting practices. That's R&D is a business expense. You finding new accountants and lawyers for your business, for the business, is R&D. Did you ask the accountant or the CPA what falls under the R&D categorization? See, we have those people on our team. Did you ask them once again what falls under the category? Did you ask the accountant or the CPA what falls under the category of research and development? Is it general? Is it specific? And you need specifics. Because for some odd reason, Tesla's writing off, looks like hundreds of billions for a truck they ain't came out with in 2 years now. When he broke the window and said it was indestructible. Talking about his indestructible glass. Sounding like an idiot. How does that make sense? Indestructible glass. And when he hit it, it cracked. Research and development. Company ain't came off the assembly lines yet. It's been in development. Research and development is a business expense. Counting against the trillions that y'all want to sit here and say he's the richest man in the world for. Give me a break. That's a joke. The company looks good on paper because he's getting money to do research and development. Ain't even turning profits of billions of dollars yet. But they want to say he's the richest one. Yeah, right. Most of the money is going towards research and development. Oh man, trust Christian in the vault. That's all you keep saying this episode. What happened to you as a small business owner? So you can take your company to the next level. You think you're just going to keep slaving away and working hard with the same information you got? The same team you got? It's time to develop some new information that you get from your research and development. And who knows how long that's going to take. Look at Tesla. The truck ain't came out in 2 years, maybe 3 or more. Truck ain't came out. But they still get an influx of capital every single year. And what is it writing off the most? R&D is a business expense. That's what this trustee training workshop's coming up. Doing business without an SSN, only an EIN properly. March 18th through the 20th. Oh man, it's a major expense for the company first quarter. If you ain't making no money, that already shows you need to get research and development. Y'all don't even want us to talk about the fact that most of these tech companies are operating in the negative. They get money from these banks to do what? Operate in the negative. How they operate in the negative? But they say they're making money. They ain't making no money. Most of the money's going towards what? Research and development. Because it's a business expense. Yeah, they sold a few chips here and there. Yeah, they sold a few software as a service programs here and there. Yeah, they over here, yeah, we giving out some tech information here and there. Few people bought our product. Research and development, where most of the money going. They ain't turning a profit yet. They ain't got no earnings yet. Because most of the money's going back into the company. Revenue growth story. They're growing revenue. They ain't got no earnings. Because guess what? The revenue's going back to what? Research and development. R&D is a business expense for these tech companies. Oh, we've seen the greatest explosion of profits in the world. No, you haven't. What profits? Tesla's not even making more money profit-wise than Ford or Chrysler. What are you talking about? Because you don't know how to look at the numbers. Because you're following TV narratives. You're lucky you're not even a part of a pump and dump. It's a research and development project for these banks. Just like the crypto. It's a research and development project for the banks. The banks are finding out what they can do with the crypto. How well the technology is. Research and development. Who's the greatest investors of the crypto? R&D. Banks. R&D is a business expense for the banks. To find out how they can integrate it into the banks. So they can learn how to figure out how you are doing undisclosed transactions through the bank. They're going to make sure that all the transactions are encrypted and they can see it. R&D is a business expense for the banks with the crypto, since they're the largest investors in it. You can go see who's the largest holder of the coins. You can see who's the largest holder of these coins, of the companies. Binance, Coin market cap. Who's the largest holder? It says institutions, the banks. R&D is a business expense for them. We encourage you through this episode to go look at the same exact thing for your family and for your company, for your family estate, and learn how to do that. R&D is a business expense. Appreciate you for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. We got a few spots left for the workshop. We always had limited seating. We already at the seat capacity, but we got a few seats left. It's one of those funny things. People thought we was gonna make it out of February before we got to March, a month in advance, and over half the room's full. We been told y'all we sell out all the workshops because people that listen to the vault, whether it's for years or not, is research and development. It's a continuing education class. R&D is a business expense. The people that got the money, it's an R&D business expense for them. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. If you're looking to go to the workshop, feel free. Reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. Why? Because R&D is a business expense. Peace and joy.